Hello, I'm going to show you how to add a new buyer. If you're already logged in, go into the Systems Configuration menu. You have the Customer Development button. This is nothing but your buyer. Supplier Development is nothing but your seller. So to add a buyer, go to the Customer Development button. Click on it and you'll be presented with a customer buyer's form with some records already been existing out there. So if you want to add a new buyer, click on this Add Customer button. The existing record goes away and the form brings you a template of a blank field for you to enter the new buyer. You can enter the buyer's name here. You need to enter its address, a PIN code. I would strongly suggest you add a city and the country and the email address, because these fields for this record are going to not only be used in the CRM, but they are also going to be used in the indenting software. So the moment you create a buyer, the same buyer can be used in your indent and at the same time on your debit note. These are the main contact names for this particular buyer, which means these are the people whom you frequently talk to or communicate with whenever you have something to talk to with this buyer. We have group company contacts. Group company contacts are sister companies or branch companies of this particular buyer. We have given you a provision to add hundreds and thousands of group companies. You need to add the group company name, address, department, position of the person who is of contact for you in that company. You can have hundreds of them, because at the time of indenting you may want to change your buyer's address or your seller's address. So any address which is entered out here is associated to this buyer. So the moment on the indent you choose this buyer, all these addresses for that buyer get associated with him. We have the bank details tab. Here we enter the bank details for this particular buyer. Similarly, we have bank details for a seller also, which is very important when your buyer has to open a LC for the seller. So we need to have the SWIFT code, bank city, bank account number, account holder's name, and all these details. The buyer and the seller's form are exactly the same, but they have two different record sets. The save button will help you save the buyer's information, and the information will be on screen for you to further modify it. The add customer button will save this information and bring you a blank form to add another buyer. Delete customer will delete this buyer from the database. This is very dangerous. This is always going to be password protected, but for the sake of the demonstration, this is open. This button is enabled only with admin login ID. If you delete a buyer or customer, that customer vanishes from your inquiry, not only from your inquiry, also from your indent and your debit notes. So be very careful when you do this operation. Undoing will undo the last operation, the last modification which you did. Click here for latest update, refresh button. This refresh button allows you to fetch any information that has been added for this particular form by another user on the same network. For example, you have just added a buyer 1. Similarly, at the same time on the network, if there is another user who is introducing a buyer 2, and if you want to have access to that buyer 2 in this list to find that buyer 2, you will not see it unless that user saves that record. The moment that user saves that record and you click on refresh, that buyer 2's record will reflect in this list. So that's what the refresh does. So buyer 1, that's it, you get buyer 1's record. Edit existing customers. This button, the moment you click on it, you get a list popping up which shows you the names of all your existing customers whom you would like to modify. You can click on any of these, or you can select your customer and he will bring you your record in a fraction of a second. Okay. Save and exit is to save and exit from the current form, and it will not exit from the CRM, it will bring you to the main form. That's how you add a new customer. Thank you.